of the Planning Commission of the City of Santa Monica to order. We start with a pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the
United States of America.
To the republic for which it stands, one nation,
Under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We call the roll.
Yes. Commissioner Chaco?
Here.
Commissioner Fresco? Vice Chair Hamilton?
Here.
Commissioner Lambert?
Here.
Commissioner Landris? Commissioner Reese? Chair Tolkien?
Here. Can we have the planning director's report?
Oops.
Good evening, Commission. So coming up at your next meeting on November 6th is a fence wall hedge modification appeal at 1125 Harvard. You know how much you enjoy those. And then on November 20th, 1901 Wilshire is a conditional use permit, development review permit, modification and waiver for a new medical office building. And then 1637 9th is a development review permit for a new creative office building. Upcoming at ARB on the 21st, 1435 5th is a mixed-use housing project. 1630 Euclid is a creative office building that the Commission approved a DR for a few months back. And then 2025 Wilshire is another mixed-use housing project, all going to ARB. Recent Landmarks Commission action. So this past Monday night, they approved the certificates of appropriateness for the Miramar project, and then also for the youth hostel at 1438 2nd Street. The council hasn't met since the last time we met, so no recent action there. And then coming up at City Council on the 22nd, the Promenade Economic Recovery Emergency Ordinance, the appeal of the landmarks designation of Compass Rose at the Santa Monica Airport. And then there's some Mills Act contracts, and then a couple of 16 items where the council will direct us to increase ADU sizes to 1,200 square feet maximum allowed, and then also to bring back an ordinance to implement the 3rd Street Promenade Entertainment Zone, and that's based on recent legislation at the state level that allows outdoor kind of open container zones. But the cities have to adopt an ordinance in order to implement it. So,
Question.
Yeah.
When is the Bergamot plan going to council? The zoning change, or has it already?
that went as part of the housing element implementation.
Did they approve the 4-acre threshold?
Yes.
Whoa.
No, they actually went, I think they went all the, yeah. I think they went even beyond what the commission had recommended.
I'm sorry?
I think they went beyond what the commission recommendation was.
Beyond 4 acres?
We're checking, yeah.
I don't think they put a cap on it.
Yeah, I think that's right.
I don't think they put a cap
Right.
on it. Yeah.
I still didn't get that. So did they just remove the threshold altogether?
So
Oh, that's interesting.
No limit in the size that you can use the administrative approval for.
Wow.
Yeah.
But that's just Bergamot.
Just Bergamot.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They did increase, they asked for a higher minimum threshold of family units. And that was, I think, one of the main changes from what we approved.
Oh, really? So
And they also went up to a no maximum parcel size. They took the entire Bergamot area plan would fall under that new.
I can't hear you.
The entire Bergamot area plan would fall under, there wouldn't be a maximum parcel size to.
I got that.
Yeah,
Right,
okay.
Right, okay. I have another question. It's not really related to items, but do SB 9 projects go to the ARB? Does anyone know?
Yeah, it's R1, so
Even if they're duplexes, they don't go to ARB?
The jurisdiction of the ARB is actually based on location in the city. So if there are one zoned parcels, they do not.
So no
go
matter what's
for
being built
design
on it?
review.
Interesting. Thank you.
Just like to announce, if anybody wants to speak, they have to submit a chit to the secretary of the commission. You all probably know what you have to do, and you will be heard at the time of that particular item, and only submit things that we can, and that are items on our agenda, please. And also, if there are any announcements that you want to make vis-à-vis the agendas are what we're responsible for. It has to be something that we can listen to. It has to be something that we can hear. And in terms of planning issues and not just general city issues. I'd like to, is there any public input?
Yes, there's one.
We're going to do,
I have a question, point of order, if you want to call it that. Are we going to proceed with the cell towers even though all the parties are not here? And we only have 4 commissioners?
We can discuss that when we get to that item.
Okay, all right. I just thought if we're not, it might be good to let the guy know.
Sam,
Yeah, I guess Jerry Rubin is on here. Oh, this is items, yeah. Jerry, let's do it.
can I make a quick point of order?
Yeah,
I have a planning commissioner announcement I'd like to make, but I'll go after Jerry.
okay.
Yeah.
Really?
Sorry. I should have probably have.
All right. Jerry Rubin, Santa Monica resident, member of the Urban Forest Task Force, but just speaking for,
Jerry, could you turn on your microphone?
It's actually on, the light,
It's on?
just, the lights.
You need to raise it up a little bit.
But it
Yeah.
does, yeah.
should I start again?
Yeah, start again.
Thank you. Jerry Rubin, Santa Monica resident, and a member of the Urban Forest Task Force, but I'm just speaking for myself tonight. And Honorable Chair Tolkien, Honorable Vice Chair Hamilton, Honorable Commission members, city staff, fellow Santa Monican, plural.
Singular.
Just want you to know I'm missing the Dodgers game because it's so important to be here. I wanted to be here because today, October 16th, would have been my late wife Marissa's 85th birthday. I don't know how to say it. It would have been or it is, still. But I do always want to express my gratitude to the city for planting a tree of gratitude in her memory, as well as the Children's Tree of Life over 40 years ago that Ken Edwards proclaimed a living monument to world peace. And I wanted to encourage, if that's the best word, to try to move the process up to work on finally creating an ordinance that would protect trees on private property. And, because I'm the kind of guy that knows how hard city staff works, and I know all the controversies that come in so many issues, but this is something that Santa Monica really should do and other cities have done. And if it's worked out right, it could maybe go a little slower in proceeding and not take really as much money as people think, or all these so-called doomsday scenarios that might happen probably wouldn't happen. I still remember some things, like when we were creating the Disabilities Commission, people thought it would be too hard on, but it really has benefited the city. And same with the Urban Forest Task Force, I believe. So I hope you'll do it. I know my wife, Marissa, would have wanted that. We talked about it all the time. So I'm speaking with her standing right next to me right now, if you could imagine it. I know a couple of you met her, maybe, but and that's all I really want to say, and just want to thank you for your work, and I was really glad to be at the meeting and speak in behalf of the Miramar project. They deserve to move ahead fast, because 14 years is really unacceptable, when you think about it. Even though the input from all the boards is important, that 14 years is still too long. It's a great project. That's all I want to say, and thank you.
Jerry, I just want to say, Marissa isn't really gone.
I love you for
She's
saying
still
that.
with us. And actually, a tree ordinance is on this fiscal year's work program.
I love you.
And about the Miramar, I closed my testimony the other night by saying if I were ever to go for a PhD in planning, I already had my dissertation topic.
I got a big response. Didn't get a chance to tell you. I thought your talk was one of the best.
Thank you.
It was really good. Thank you.
That's why my son quit developing, because of the 14 years to take and get one project approved.
They've had turnover, fortunately.
Yeah. We're now into
Glad they
the
stuck
items.
through it, because it's going to be so important.
I know, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's me.
Thank you,
Thank you. Item 7, the consent calendar. Are there any commissioners who want to pull any of the items?
Can I make a planning commissioner report?
Can you have a commissioner announcement?
Thank you. I wanted to just take a moment in our meeting time to talk about an event I went to in Santa Monica a week and a half ago, which was the grand opening of the Laurel Apartments on 14th and Michigan, which is a brand new project recently developed by EAH Housing. It's 57 units of permanent supportive housing that's currently 100% occupied. And from what I understand, the waiting list that they drew from came primarily from people from the city's waiting list who needed a place to live, who were experiencing homelessness. We had a chance to hear from some of the residents currently living at that facility. And I just want to call it out because I think it's an important project, and I think it's something that we should be talking about. And I think affordable housing is a very important topic in Santa Monica. If we want to have real diversity in all aspects, we really need to invest in the affordable housing stock of this city. I also want to commend the city of Santa Monica, who created 100% of the units are covered with project-based rental vouchers. And also the city provided a substantial gap loan to help make that project possible, well over $10 million of city funds. I also want to acknowledge the fact that as part of the design of this 57-unit multifamily property, it's on the site of the old Nikkei Hall, which was a kind of the hub of the Japanese American community here in Santa Monica. And Nikkei Hall was developed just after World War II, when many of the Japanese people were returning from internment camps and needed a hub within the community to help them kind of get back on their feet, form community, and reintegrate back into society. It's a really beautiful mid-century modern kind of designed building that had been vacant for a number of years, and as part of the development of this project was rehabilitated and repurposed into a community room. We were able to walk through there. It's a beautiful building. I happened to grow up not too far from the property, so I remember going down there when I was a kid and seeing it as well. So it was really rewarding to be able to go back to this site. I was involved in a couple of different aspects of this building, but just wanted to say that it was something that the whole city should be aware of and celebrate.
Can I add something?
Yeah.
I think that the development team and the Santa Monica Conservancy are going to apply for an LA Conservancy Annual Award of Distinction for that project. Because it really represents how historic preservation and affordable housing can work together. And that's really,
exactly.
really important.
Yeah.
So, good point.
Where is this?
14th in Michigan.
Yeah. And Nikkei Hall is on Michigan, just off the street corner. Yeah. Yeah, it's a great example of a way that Santa Monica can kind of keep a lot of its historic inventory intact, but also densifying, because the building is on what was the old parking lot, the old surface parking lot. And so it was just a great redesign of that whole street corner. Yeah. So thank you.
I think we're, the next one is 7A, which is there a city presentation on this? No,
No, it's currently on the consent calendar.
just can't.
I move approval of the consent calendar.
Second.
That's a voice vote, right? Yeah, you can do it as a voice vote.
Okay.
Yes,
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 aye. Okay. This 10A is a review discussion of the Planning Commission Boards and Commissions Report Questionnaire, including formulation of the Commission's FY 24-25 work plan for submittal to the City Council pursuant to Resolution Number 11510, CCS, which establishes policies for city boards, commissioners, and committees. Is there
Sure, yeah, just a brief introduction on this one. What you have before you is a questionnaire that's required by all city boards and commissions to be submitted to the city clerk as part of the requirements of that council resolution for all city boards and commissions. What that questionnaire highlights are the responsibilities of the Planning Commission. It also lists the accomplishments from the past fiscal year, 23-24, and also highlights the work plan for the upcoming fiscal year for the Planning Commission. So if the Planning Commission has any feedback or input on anything that's listed on that questionnaire, we're happy to hear from you.
you?
Okay. I would not add anything to this list. And the reason I would not is I can't even imagine the staff workload at this point. We see the tip of the iceberg. But now all housing projects are going through staff and not coming to us, and there are a lot of them. So the last thing in the world I want to do is add anything to that burden, number one. Number two, I think as you, the city council is the one who kind of directs all of us. We've learned that. And I think if there were a new city council in November, there will be some planning initiatives that are going to be handed down from that new city council, and we should just wait to see what happens.
Yeah, I would. I appreciate that. This largely, or really, it does reflect the department's work plan, and specifically the planning division's work plan. Really, this is just the things we have coming up in our pipeline, and we know we're bringing to the commission for your review and comment and feedback. Okay.
I guess we're on now, public hearing. Is there anybody here for the?
Good question.
So the representative for the appellant is here, but the applicant for the original minor use permit unfortunately was not able to make it at the last minute. We've spoken to both parties. They're both amenable to continuing the item to the next Planning Commission hearing on November 6th.
Should we take a vote on that?
Yes, we can do that.
Anybody want to? Do we have to make a resolution?
Are there any?
Just a motion and a second, and then a voice vote would be fine to continue it.
Okay, I would move that we move item 11A to the next meeting of the Planning Commission.
Yes.
I second.
Second.
For the record, that would be November 6th.
Yes.
So that will be a roll call vote? Okay. Commissioner Chaco?
Aye.
Vice Chair Hamilton?
Aye.
Yes.
Commissioner
Lambert,
Lambert?
aye, and Nina's going to kill us.
And Chair Tolkien?
She's trying to avoid this.
Aye.
Okay. So that is 4-0 to continue.
Looks like I'm going to remember that one today. Oh. Well, there are no resolutions, no written communications, planning commission member discussion items. I think you've, Josh, I think that was one of them. So I would adjourn the meeting.
Can we, you're going to think this is really weird, but can we adjourn in the name of Nina's cat, Mike?
Of course.
He was a very special cat.
How do we do that?
We just do it. I just did
Okay.
it.
Oh, say the time.
He gets a big banner thing. It's,
Can you say, just, oh.
We're adjourned.
wow, that's a record, I think.
I think, no, I think, I